Every time you touch me, Just like football, business moves fast. And when you need funding, there's no time to wait. At Fleximize, we keep things simple. No penalties, no red cards, just fast, flexible business loans. We only ask for the essentials and you'll get a decision within 24 hours. Once approved, the funds are in your account the same day. Fleximize, let's fund your goals.
Hello, welcome back to Matchday Preview Live, streaming live on X, YouTube, Town TV and now Facebook. Proudly brought to you by the club's headline digital partner Fleximize, the UK's award-winning lender offering fast, flexible business loans. Well, it's another big weekend of Sky Bet Championship action as Kieran McKenna's side make the trip to Ewood Park to take on Blackburn Rovers, and Town head into the fixture on the back of that sensational 5-0 victory over Sheffield United, and will of course be eager to carry on that momentum into today's clash. Rovers meanwhile will be aiming to make home advantage count in front of their supporters. Over the next 45 minutes or so, we'll bring you all the key talking points ahead of the 3 p.m. kickoff with team news, tactical insight and honest views, as always, from our special guests, so that you're fully set for another huge afternoon of Championship football. So welcome everybody to the Town TV studio as we build up to Blackburn Rovers versus Ipswich Town. Kickoff coming up shortly. We will be doing all the build-up with our couple of great studio guests, as always. Welcome to Tristan Nydam for your first appearance here in the Town TV studio, and to Luke Hyam. All right, let's get into it, folks. Welcome back to both of you. Of course, having played together some years ago and now here in the Town TV studio, welcome to your debut, Tristan. You must be excited to be here.
No, thanks for having me. It's good to be here. Obviously, played with Hymesy 2017, so yeah, a while ago. But yeah, it's excited to be here. Looking to get stuck into sort of build up to this match. And look, first time I think we've worked together. Maybe we worked together once last season, but one match that sticks out is obviously the Huddersfield game, which we did at the end of the 2024 season when it was promoted. That was a good memories, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's good to get back. Good to see Tristan again. I haven't seen him for quite some time, but yeah, it's good to be in your company again.
Yeah, so, good to have you both. Listen, this week is the EFL Youth Development Week, so I think it's good to have you both on, having come through the Town Academy, both of you. And the Academy at Ipswich Town is fantastic, isn't it, Tristan? Good memories from you?
Yeah, unbelievable. So I was at the Academy from when I was 9 until when I signed my pro deal at 17. But yeah, the work that the Academy are doing now, the development, it's great to see going on, and obviously now that Cat won. So it's unbelievable for the club, the Academy, the staff, and hopefully it's onwards and upwards for the Academy, and we see more in the first team.
And listen, players who come through the Academy, they're not just sort of beginning their football careers, but these are friendships that last for lifetimes. Obviously, you guys weren't in the Academy at the same time, but you will have been aware of each other playing at the club. And interestingly, watching you both catching up and discuss, it was like old friends from times gone by, and that's one of the nice things about academies, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I've got my best mates are from the youth team. I'm still best mates to this day. So, yeah, it creates really good memories. I look back at those 2 years when I was in the youth team, and I feel like they were like one of the best couple of years I've had, to be fair. I'm sure Tristan can say the same. But, yeah, it's brilliant now that we're Category 1. It would be nice that we can try and bleed some more of these youngsters into the first team. Obviously, you've got Cameron Humphreys and Elkin Baggett. Unfortunately not getting into the squad just because of the squad depth we've got at the moment, but it speaks volumes of what this club's done since our time and even before, the amount of academy products we've produced throughout the years.
Interesting stuff. We'll hear more about this, of course, as the show goes on. Really interesting guests that bring a new energy to Town TV today. Talking about new energy, there certainly feels like there is a new energy in this Town squad, doesn't there, on the back of a sensational 5-0 victory over Sheffield United last weekend. Let's remind ourselves of some of those moments.
Championship football is back with a bang as Ipswich Town host Sheffield United under the Friday night lights at Portland Road. Ipswich Town, Sheffield United, that was like a loose ball from back in there, and Ipswich might profit from it. It runs through to Jaden Philogene rather fortuitously. Philogene into the penalty area and into the back of the net. Jaden Philogene.
Yeah, they were just waiting for Matthew Stewart to come back onto the pitch to get full strength. Now they're getting after it again.
Did you watch the game at all? I saw the results.
Give us that call. Hurst to Jaden Philogene. Philogene with a chance to run it, gone through once more, approaching the penalty area, cutting inside. He's got Hurst with him. It's Philogene! Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant from Jaden Philogene. Last clean sheet coming in January against Bristol Rovers in the FA Cup. As this might run through to George Hurst, and Hurst is around Cooper inside the box, forced wide, and it's through the legs! It's through the legs of Cooper and in! It is calamitous for Sheffield United. Can't quite slide that through to George Hurst, who was waiting for it just on the edge of the Sheffield United penalty area. Here's Philogene again. Jaden Philogene on his left foot this time! Hat-trick! Hat-trick for Jaden Philogene! And what a hat-trick that is! The roof has come off Portman Road. Zamare challenged by Matasiwa again, and Waller Egley fancies it on his debut from range from 35 yards. And Clark in the box now, and Clark makes it 5!
5-0 up and everyone having a laugh.
And that is that. What a night for Ipswich Town. What a way to start the weekend.
Ipswich Town 5, Sheffield United 0, an absolutely sensational performance by Ipswich. And we were talking on the Matchday Preview show last week about how sometimes a team just explodes into life, and that certainly feels like that was the case last week. Ipswich Town just a near 10 out of 10 performance, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Especially to go and beat Sheffield United 5-0, a team who were on the verge of going up last season. To go and beat them 5-0, and Ipswich needed that victory. So to go and batter Sheffield United is an unbelievable result. And like we're saying, I think it's onwards and upwards for the first team. And hopefully we can go and see them win the league and have another season in the Premier League next year.
Would be lovely, wouldn't it? Luke, you're obviously here, sat just to the left down there, I think you were, weren't you? I mean, the atmosphere was unreal, wasn't it? Portman Road on its day is, in my opinion, one of the loudest grounds out there. But under the lights on a Friday night, first win for a while, wasn't it, at Portman Road? The fans needed that, and it was reflected in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I generally do feel like it makes a difference. I know it's very cliche, like under the lights, but even the little things like obviously having the fire come up, like the atmosphere with the music, and I thought first half it was pretty fairly even, and then we kind of come into life in the second half, and I think once it went 2-3-0, I think kind of we just whitewashed them really in that second half, and it was very much needed. It was very much needed, absolutely.
As former players of the club, obviously you will carry that love with you through life, as I'm sure people that have come through the academy and played at Portman Road. How different does that atmosphere feel these days? Because there does feel like there's an extra energy at Portman Road. The stadium obviously full most games. Luke mentions the pyrotechnics, the way the ground's been redeveloped. How special is it to see that as a former player when you sort of look back on your own memories, which I know were amazing? Like, it's special to see how much the club's moved on in so many ways, isn't it?
Oh, it's incredible. Obviously, I think when we were playing, the stadium wasn't empty, but it wasn't as full as it is now. You're seeing the full capacity, 29, 30,000 every game. You've got the pyrotechnics. It is a Premier League club, and it's what the club should be. It's always what it should have been, and it's amazing to see now, sitting in the stands, being part of the fans. It is incredible. Every week it's loud. Everyone's raring to go. The away fans are incredible. So it's amazing to see.
It really is. Let's pick apart some of those goals, shall we? In fact, all 5 of them, because they were all special for different reasons. I mean, this first goal, there's a touch of luck to it, isn't there? But Jaden Philogene just looked raring to go right from the off, didn't he, Luke? And no surprise to see him scoring early on.
I remember when I think it was Jason McAteer trying to play that ball inside when there was about 3 players, and I was thinking, like, what's he doing? And obviously, you've got that bit of luck, and then when it got to Philogene on that left-hand side, once he shifts it into onto his right foot, as long as he hits the targets, he's always got a good opportunity to score a goal. So yeah, it was a great finish.
And at it again, this is a sensational finish. From that angle, had to work his way through the 2 defenders, beat the keeper. Brilliant second goal, that.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, if I'm on a Sheffield United standpoint, bad defending. They've allowed them to do it for the first goal, allowed for the second goal, but an unbelievable strike.
Underrated finishes, I think, from George Hurst, by the way, because everyone expects him to pass or to cross. Strikers, they're going to shoot as soon as they see that goal. It's a tricky angle to find, and a great goal from Hurst.
Yeah, again, poor defending there from Sheffield United, but at the same time, I think fans have been getting on Hurst back last few games, so it's very much needed for Hurst to get that goal. But looking at that one where he's obviously shifted on his left foot and he's just hit that so well, and no keeper's literally saving that, even those that weren't even in the top corner, because he hit it so well.
He doesn't have a weak foot, does he? If you can finish that well with your
left foot.
weaker foot, allegedly.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah, certainly. It's so good for an attacker to have that, so the defenders don't know where he's going to go. First two goals, he goes on the inside, uses his right foot. Next goal, he goes on the outside, and then scored. That's his hat-trick goal. So unbelievable.
As fans of football, as pundits of football, as people associated with football, you have conversations with other fans from other clubs, inevitably, don't you? And there's a fear factor amongst other fans now, having seen that performance by Ipswich, seeing the team sheet, the subs bench, seeing the players that Ipswich Town have on show. They've made. I feel that was a statement win.
Yeah, I said it last time I was on the show, with the squad depth we have, especially when coming off the bench. Even when the Sheffield United game, when we brought Nunez on, we've got new signings coming on. Azon, who looked really good, and I thought he'll be a good backup striker to Hurst, given the competition going through the season. So I think it's not just the starting 11. I think it is more so now. It is the squad game, but the squad depth we have is second to none.
Yeah, it really is. Hurst, Villagine and Leaf all in the Championship Team of the Week. And actually that got us thinking about all-time Ipswich Town 11s. Now, we've got you two to pick your all-time Ipswich Town 11, with the disclaimer that you do have to use some players from the current squad. They're new players, so it might have been that you picked all players from the 80s. Let's have a look at yours first of all, Luke, and you can talk to us about some of your selections.
So I've gone from the era I was growing up, so obviously minus Walk, just because I think he's mostly the biggest club legend, so I obviously had to chuck him in there. But I've gone with...
Is that a number 10 role for Walkie there?
Do everything, to be fair. He was up and down, he plays a 4, he plays as a 10. But yeah, obviously we had to do a bit of a mixture, and I've done it through the team I grew up with. Hence we've got Darren Bent and Martin Broussard, Matt Holland, who's my favourite player growing up. And then you obviously got the lads who are currently here with Davis and O'Shea. I think O'Shea's been superb since he's been brought to the club. Chamber has to go in there for me, to be fair. I think he's very underrated as a captain. And then you've got to say you got Fabian Wilness, who say one of my favourite players growing up. And then Philogene might be up for grabs, but I thought after last week's performance, I think that kind of gives him that springboard to then kick on, because that's a long time coming for him to have that performance, because we know the ability he's got. So hopefully he can kind of kick on from last weekend.
You've got very excited by that hat-trick, and I think a lot of Town fans will agree with you. Some of them will disagree, and we will get to that in a moment, fans, because we are going to be looking for some of your opinions as well. But Tristan, we asked the same question to you. Let's take a look at your... I actually haven't looked at this yet, so I'm as curious as those watching from home. Here we go. This is the team. Talk us through it.
So I was a bit confused by the question initially. At first, it was just all-time team 11. So I had to then sneak in Tristan Davis, but I think all of these players, I don't even think I was thought of at the time. They won the UEFA Cup and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think majority of the team is from the 80s.
That's a world-class team right there.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable team. I've had to sneak in a few players from this current crop, so I've gone with Tristan Davis. I think Davis speaks for himself. He's a Premier League player. I had to put Kieran Dyer in there.
Both put Walkie in the middle of the park. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think that speaks for itself, really. And then, I've had to go with the UEFA Cup team. I think that's probably the best Ipswich team of all time. So.
Kieran Dyer making his way into that squad as well. I like to see that. Town fans, you may have your own opinions on this, and we want to hear some of your thoughts. Get involved on social media using the hashtag TownTV, and we will read out some of these comments later in the show. We're encouraging the debate here. Get involved with some of your picks. Right, let's rewind now to the last time that Ipswich Town played Blackburn Rovers at Ewood Park. It was that magical season back in 2024. It was a Good Friday fixture. Town winning that one 1-0, a result which put us top of the league. Let's relive it.
Ben Krazine just penalised for a handball there, and then there was a late challenge on Chaplin, but Chaplin has managed to stay on his feet, and now he uses the outside of his left foot to find Leif Davis, corner of the penalty area, back in towards Chaplin, who helps it goalwards, and it's in the back of the net. Ipswich lead. It's gone through Ainsley Pears, and Chaplin, who started that attack with a lovely piece of balance after it looked like he was going to be fouled, he then delivered out to Davis, and we see those two combine so often. Davis into Chaplin, and Chaplin into the back of the net. 1-0 Ipswich Town. The away side can catch Blackburn out on the transition. Oh, and Hadke might have been caught out here, and somehow he makes the save. Well, he recovers it. Sammy Schmodix cannot believe that he's not scored. And that is it. Ipswich have held on, and they move to the top of the table on Good Friday.
Sammy Schmodix missing the chance at the end there for Blackburn. Thankfully he did. Hopefully he won't miss any chances today. Listen, good memories firstly of that. It was a big win for Ipswich Town, and a gritty win, and one that was obviously important. But have you guys sort of had a chance to watch much of Blackburn this season? Like, is this an interesting sort of challenge for Ipswich today? Ewood Park, never an easy ground to visit, is it?
No, I would say obviously back then it was John Eustace who was the manager, and he'd done a really good job there. Obviously got a new manager now as he's gone to Derby, but looking at the table and their fixtures they've had and results they've had, obviously won the last 2 out of their 3, same points as Ipswich. Doesn't really give you much, I think, especially being so early on in the season, and it's so cliche to say about the Championship, but every fixture is always going to be tough, regardless if it's home or away.
I forget which season it was. There was a season when Ipswich started with 5 wins out of 5. It was when Mick McCarthy was boss, and the season sort of tailed away. You remember that one, I think, from you. You were in that team. So, like, if you're that team that is perhaps maybe sort of surprising a few, and you win those first 5 games, it feels like everything, doesn't it? But the reality is, it doesn't mean too much at the moment. The table is what it is. Middlesbrough are obviously flying; they're 4 points ahead at the moment, but there's a long, long way to go, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a 46-game season with cups in between. So there'll be Saturday, Tuesday. The winter period is so tough. So I wouldn't say it's a false tale, but it's almost a false tale. The table right now, you look at Sheffield United, rock bottom. They won't be there.
You don't think so?
Nah, I think they'll finish in the playoffs with Chris Wilder.
Interesting.
So it's a false tale. Ipswich got the best manager in the league, the best team in the league. After last week's result, I think they'll probably be the team to beat this year. I think that the league is a false tale at the moment.
It was an important win as well, wasn't it? Because I think we would have all taken a scrappy 1-0 win in that game just to get the points on the board. But it was such a dominating performance. Okay, Sheffield United were not in a good place. We can't, pretend otherwise. But you can only beat the team in front of you, and it was such a good performance. Do you think that momentum carries into today, Luke?
Absolutely. I think, obviously, how the season started, we'd have just taken the 3 points. Obviously, before we go into the international break, that Preston game was massive. I think people put massive pressure on it in terms of thinking, right, we need to get a win before the international break. So then coming out of that, to then get a result like that, especially with that second half performance, I think it is massive, and that will breed confidence in with the group in terms of they know we've got the quality, but it's obviously producing it out there, because obviously breeding confidence is winning football matches.
Absolutely. Well, Tristan said it himself, best manager in the league. We're certainly big fans of him here at Ipswich Town Football Club, aren't we? Let's hear the thoughts now of Town boss Kieran McKenna.
Yeah, it feels that way in a few different departments at the moment, and exactly where we want to be and where we need to be. I said it many times. If you want to be one of the top teams in this division, the challenges are so great, so varied, so frequent that you need to have really good strength, really good depth, different options, different profiles, different qualities, and it feels that we have that really hungry, fresh group as well. Lots of players sort of trying to establish themselves here, or in the case of like Azor, trying to establish himself in English football, or in the case Cam Humphreys trying to still sort of building into the early phase of his career. So a really hungry department, and good players in there, good people. and hopefully it'll be a strength. Yeah, well, I can only really say this week, because I say it's, the group felt really new from last week onwards, really. But the training level this week's been excellent, I have to say, and I said that to the group. It's been right where we want it to be. If we keep working at that, then we'll make the improvements that we need to make at the training ground here on an individual and a team level. So that's been really enjoyable. I think the players, staff, everyone have really enjoyed feeling the level this week. Yeah, we're expecting a tough game. There's, I don't think there's going to be another category of game this year. To be honest, every game is going to be tough. This is no exception. It's a different Blackburn team than what we faced a couple of years ago. Probably only a few of the same players, but not a really good manager, experienced manager at the level. Lots of good players, sort of pushed on with their international recruitment as well. So lots of players from different backgrounds. Got some real qualities in the team. They've shown that in a couple of their games. Big win at Hull in their last, and big win at Watford as well in their last 2 away games. Of course, like for every other team, every game's really competitive, so it's hard to win back to back. But that's what we have to try and do this weekend. But there's no doubt they're a team with, good manager, good organisation, good individual players, and they're going to give us a big test this weekend.
Kieran McKenna talking about today's opponents, Blackburn Rovers, in his press conference. Let's now hear from Blackburn Rovers boss Valerian Ismail, who's been giving us his thoughts ahead of their match against Town today.
I think you always say that every game of the Championship is tough, but would Ipswich be one of the more difficult ones given the quality that they've got within their squad?
It's a top side in the Championship this season. I think at the end, normally, if the thing goes normal for them, they should be competing for the first 2 place in the Championship. They had a massive development the last 3 years from League One to the Premier League, and they made it brilliantly on the transfer market to buy very top talent player, young players, but at the same time to have the experience in the squad. And they've got a top manager as well. So it makes this team one of the favorites for the direct promotion. So it just shows what we will face on Saturday. So we are aware about that and the individual players they've got in the squad. But it's a Championship, it's a 50-50 league always. When you start a game, everyone can beat anyone. So. This is a good thing with the Championship, but we know we have to do the perfect game for us to make sure we can stay with 11 players on the pitch, not to put ourselves in a difficulty. But otherwise, the boys are ready. They train well. They are focused, but at the same time, they found the balance and to be calm. And it's all about now to do the next step, and that game is.
Blackburn Rovers boss giving his thoughts then on Ipswich Town today, and it gives us a bit of a chance to reflect on both teams and their managerial setups, contrasting sort of experiences with their managers. Obviously, Valerian joining Blackburn earlier this year, and we all know Kieran McKenna's been with Town since 2021, I think. How important is continuity? Luke, we'll start with you in terms of having a manager at a club for a long period of time. Different clubs, they do experiment with chopping and changing their managers. We saw Sheffield United, is a good example of that. Ipswich have been lucky enough to have such a fantastic manager, and it's paid off for Ipswich, certainly.
It works both ways, I feel. Obviously, going back to Sheffield United, it's gone the opposite way, and obviously then having to go back to Wilder. But you normally, when you bring a new manager in, you get that new manager bounce, and you have like that honeymoon stage with them, and like the first 3 to 6 months they do well, and then they might fade off, or vice versa, they might do well and then kick on again. But like Tristan said, I feel like we've got the best manager in the league. Ismail's obviously very experienced at this level. So it's going to be tough, but I still, every fixture we go into, I feel like we should be looking to win, and looking to win handsomely as well sometimes, especially against lesser teams in this league, that's for sure.
Yeah, interesting points you make there. Tristan, obviously you were sent out on loan by Hurst when you were playing for Ipswich, and a new manager can go one of two ways for players, can't it? What was it like as a player when a manager comes in? it can be a nervy time for players. You feel like you've got to prove yourself, and obviously for you it meant you went out on loan, and obviously you would have preferred, I guess, maybe to have stayed at Town. It can work both ways, can't it?
Yeah, 100%. Especially as a young player as I was at the time. You're nervous anyway, being in that environment. It's a new environment. So it can work. It can work both ways. Unfortunately for me, I went on loan. But a player that could have been out on loan last year, new manager comes in, and that manager loves you, and all of a sudden you're back in the frame and you're the main man. So yeah, it goes both ways.
Let's talk a little bit about what both of you two are up to in football, because both obviously finishing your careers perhaps sooner than you would have wanted done, especially for you, Tristan. We'll come to that in just a moment's time. But Luke, you're obviously in the management realm now, manager of Ipswich Town. How's that going?
I had a little break now. I've had a little break back at the last season. So I was doing that for 3 years, having a little break, just spending more time with the family, and then maybe looking to get back into it. But it's more the social element, the enjoyment out of it, and I like the non-league side of it, especially coming from professionally to go into non-league. It's completely different. It's a lot less pressurised, it's a lot more relaxed, and like I say, I really enjoyed those 3 years, and if there's an opportunity which may arise, then I'd definitely look at it.
Well, and also you'll bring an aura with you as well, being a former professional footballer who's played at some of the highest levels in football. That will bring with it a presence as well. Tristan, you're still sort of involved in football yourself. I know you've been working in sort of a bit of scouting, done a bit of coaching with Scusi, I think, as well. Still sort of involved in the football world, aren't you?
Yeah, so I work with Scusi down the road at St. Joe's. So we run there's a football program there that we run. And then I run my own little coaching business, doing one-to-one coaching, 2-to-1 small group sessions. I enjoy that side of it. I enjoy the coaching side, helping kids develop. And then got into scouting last year. So I do some scouting with Aston Villa. Again, love that side of it. So still in and around football, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it certainly is. And listen, both obviously having to retire early, and obviously commiserations for that. But great to see you moving in a positive direction, still remaining in football, and good to see. Right, let's catch up with one of Town's players who is obviously going to be featuring at some point today. Chuba Akpom has been catching up with Town TV's Jacob Henderson. We can't hear this, by the way.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you need wins to gain momentum and rhythm, and that's what we did. So hopefully we can do that again.
How much did you enjoy your role in the team as well? Maybe sort of the attacks going through you in a way.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was my first start, so still trying to get that rhythm with the team and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm sure I'll just get better and better.
And then finally, Blackburn today. What are your thoughts on the conditions as much as the opponents?
Yeah, I've just been out on the pitch. It's really wet, quite damp, and we're going to have to adjust to that as well. But the pitch is decent, so yeah, let's go out there and give 100%.
Good luck, Chuba.
Thank you.
Chuba Akpom talking to Town TV's Jacob Henderson there. Of course, kick-up coming up soon. Good to hear from one of Town's players. Right, we want to go back to some of your comments, which we promised we'd try and read out. Robin Pontin on YouTube, referencing one of your teams, says, not a bad team, but Philogene hasn't been on form until the last game, so not sure he can be in Brazil or Dyer's place every single day. Luke, for a response to that?
I agree with it. I'll basically put him in there.
I knew you were going to get called out.
I reckon it's going to give him the kick-start to his Town career, and then in the next 2, 3, 4 years, then he
this
will
is the
be
manager in you.
legend.
You're thinking of like how it'll affect it. Yeah, I like it. Alex Woodhouse on YouTube, Alan Brazil, Grandad always speaks about him. So this is one of the great things about this is Town fans sort of thinking back to when they obviously were watching Town in the 70s and 80s when it was a great teams. We've had a few score predictions coming through as well, so I'm going to ask you two for yours in a moment. Kritos has said 2-1 to Town. Taylor has says back-to-back 5-0s. I mean, listen, who knows? Alcatraz GH says 2-0. We've got 3-1. There's a few positive sort of predictions there. Let's throw it to you guys. What are you thinking? Are you thinking Town are going to do back-to-back wins? No one ever predicts a loss, and that never happens, nor will it ever.
No, I'm going to go back-to-back wins. I reckon 3-1. Going off the back of last week's result, yeah, I think it will be a comfortable win.
Okay, what about you, Luke?
Yeah, I agree. I think 2-0 for me, but
2-0.
it's so important that we use that victory and that performance to kickstart our season. So it needs to make sure we springboard us into this game as well.
Spoke to Darren Ambrose last week on the back of the 5-0 win, and he said, I'm convinced Ipswich will now go and win at 8 or 9 in a row. And who would say otherwise? I mean, like, a performance like that fills us all with confidence, doesn't it? And that is the nature of football. When you win, you think you're going to win them all. When you lose, you're like, where's the next win coming from? But yeah, I think probably predicting a few wins for Town now is not the craziest thing in the world, is it?
No, I think it's tough. I think to say we might win 8, 9 games on the bounce is going to be very, very tough, especially in the Championship when it's Saturday, Tuesday. But I think we can definitely get the next 3 or 4 victories under our belt. That's definitely more than achievable, that's for sure.
And we talked a little bit about the league table a moment ago and saying it's not, so important at the moment. Having said that, there is already a gap between Ipswich and, let's say, Middlesbrough at the top of the league. And listen, we're not going to make wild predictions about where Ipswich will finish quite yet. We're taking this very much each game at a time. But you don't want that gap to be too big, do you? Like, even at this stage, you still want it to still be within sight. Yeah,
of course. I mean, I think the gap's only 6 points at the moment. Obviously, those early kickoffs, so I'm not sure on the table now. But a 6 point swing it's a 2-game swing. So, I mean, if they're still in touch and distance, I think if you're still in touch and distance of the playoffs and then the top 2 come December, anyone's in with a chance. And like we say, there's so many games in that period of time, so anything can change. And thankfully, Ipswich are only 6 points off top and a point or 2 off the playoffs. So yeah.
Cool. Well, each game at a time. It is, of course, Blackburn Rovers today, and we can now talk a little bit more in detail about Ipswich Town's lineup, which, unsurprisingly, Kieran McKenna has named an unchanged team from the team that beat Sheffield United last weekend. Let's take a look. I mean, we don't really need to sort of dwell too much on it because, of course, it is an unchanged team, and no surprises really there guys, because you don't change a winning team always, do you?
No, I think we spoke off air and we anticipated that there would be an unchanged team. I know Ashley Young's on the bench in place of Ben Johnson, which still isn't surprising. I think Ashley Young's been a bit unfortunate not to get more starts. I think every time he's been involved, I think he looks like a Premier League player for me still. But yeah, it's just really important that we use that result and that performance from last week into today's game, that's for sure.
We saw when Ipswich last played Blackburn, of course, in 2024, Sam Tzanoudakis had that chance that Kladky thankfully saved against his old team. Would you expect him to feature at some point today? You probably would, wouldn't you? Yeah, I think so. And I think he brings a different side to the game. He's a powerful runner, he's quick. Obviously, he scored 28 or 29 goals in his last season in the Championship. So, yeah, I think you can expect him to feature and probably come close to scoring as well. I think we can see the Ipswich Town subs bench as well now. There it is. We talk about this every week. That is a ridiculous subs bench, isn't it? I mean, it's probably like I'm just making this number off the top of my head, but that's like a £60 million subs bench, isn't it? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's very good. Like, even just little things like Jack Clark and Sammy Smodics, 2 years ago, they were in the Championship team of the season, and then signing Nunes. I think he looked, when he came on the other week against Sheffield United, he looked a class player, and it just shows that the squad depth we have is second to none. Some serious goals on that bench as well. Wally Egley is a player that we've just brought in a lot of excitement about him. He came on, looked exciting, looked sharp against Sheffield United last week. It would be fun to see him again, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would be very fun. I mean, they bought him for I think I saw €25 million, something like that. So yeah, it's going to be exciting to see him this year, especially given his age, and he's got a lot to learn, a lot to develop. So it will be exciting to see him, and I think he'll fit right into this fantastic team as it is anyway. Agreed. Right, let's take a look at Blackburn Rovers' starting lineup now, and maybe pick out some of the Danger men. There it is. I think a lot of fans will remember that name, Cantwell, obviously from his time at Norwich. Anyone that you'd sort of keep your eye on there, Luke? Yeah, I was just going to say Todd Cantwell. I think he's definitely, over the years, he's matured. Like, I think when he came through at Norwich, I think he was kind of brandished as a little bit of a nuisance, I'd say, maybe. A bit of a hothead. But now, obviously, coming through, obviously went to Rangers, now going to Blackburn, now being skipper. I think he's got very good pedigree at this level, so he's definitely going to be a threat. But like I say, any championship team we face, they're always going to be a threat in some sort of capacity.
We'll take a quick look at Blackburn Rovers subs bench and see if perhaps there's any. You can see the Ipswich Town fans there in the background. Great travelling support as always. Good Johnson could be one to keep an eye on. Tristan, there's a few. It's definitely. It's not. I mean, listen, we're going to say this, but it's not as sort of fear striking as Ipswich Town's bench, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, of course. I don't think many subs benches will be as good as Ipswich. The strength and depth that we have is incredible. We have spent quite a bit of money to go with it, but yeah, I mean, any subs bench, fresh legs can be a threat.
Yeah, certainly can. And in terms of what you want to see from Ipswich Town today, obviously, you know, not every week is going to be a 5-0 demolition. I don't think any Town fans are expecting that. If Ipswich Town came away with a point today, you'd probably take that. We want to win every game, of course. You just want to see a positive performance, sort of somewhat similar to what we saw last time. Just, you know, attacking football, chances made, hopefully some goals scored as well.
Of course, every game we go into, we're looking to get 3 points. But it's building on those performances for me. I think Kieran's going to be looking at each game, and like I say, Tristan mentioned it, we're still so early on in the season, so it's hard to kind of tell where teams are going to be. But I think at this stage of the season, it's improving on each performance, and obviously having such a good performance against Sheffield United, you just want to kind of emulate that at least, because like I say, you're not going to go out and win 5-4-0 every single game. There's going to be different stages in the game which are going to be more difficult. We're going to be put under pressure at different points, but it's how you deal with that. But I think it's having that solid performance and a good result at the same time.
Yeah, and listen, sometimes luck plays a factor as well, doesn't it? You can play well and not score 5 goals, but I think Ipswich Town fans will just be looking for a positive performance today. Would you sort of mirror that thought?
I would agree. I think especially if we don't come away with the 3 points, if we can take a point and have a positive performance, even better. But I think anyone before a game, if you play badly and get the 3 points, it's unbelievable. But of course, we want to play well. Hopefully, we play well and get the 3 points. But a positive performance is very important at this stage.
Absolutely. So up next, Blackburn Rovers versus Ipswich Town. Hopefully another 3 points coming away of Ipswich Town with that exciting unchanged lineup. Just a reminder that there's no restrictions on international support today, so wherever you are outside of the UK, you can tune in and buy your match passes and watch Ipswich Town, of course, taking on Blackburn Rovers in today's kickoff. Glenn Wheeler and Ian Westlake will be bringing you commentary. Up next, Blackburn Rovers versus Ipswich Town. Thanks for tuning in, Town fans, and we'll see you next time. It's bye for now.
Just like football, business moves fast. And when you need funding, there's no time to wait. At Fleximize, we keep things simple. No penalties, no red cards, just fast, flexible business loans. We only ask for the essentials and you'll get a decision within 24 hours. Once approved, the funds are in your account the same day. Fleximize, let's fund your goals.
When we started this, did we ever think we'd have a partnership with a football club? Absolutely not. This is beyond our wildest dreams. We pretty much exclusively hire graduates at Halo. We're very proud of our Suffolk roots. Halo's a pretty passionate, positive, enthusiastic place generally, but when you've also got what's going on at the football club, and it's just blending passion and enthusiasm.